And The Flash, issue 792, is written by Jeremy Adams with pencils by Roger Cruz, inks by Wellington Diaz, with colors by Luis Guerrero, and letters by Rob Lee. And this issue starts with Barry standing over Iris's body and apologizing to her before they then move into the main room where the Flash family discuss their next move. It's soon decided that they need to understand the fraction technology more by reverse engineering one of their vehicles. Before anyone can notice, both Impulse and Kid Flash are gone, with Wallace questioning Bart's choices, but decides to join him in order to keep an eye on him. However, little do they know that Ms. Murder is on their trail. Around this time, the rest of the Flash family decide to stash their frozen-in-time loved ones at Terrific Tech, of which, after they do so, is when they realize both Wallace and Bart are gone. By this point, Bart and Wallace have managed to sneak onto one of the ships, in which they steal its power source, which tips off the alarms. Bart and Wallace soon run into other Fraction soldiers, using the battery as a battering ram to not only take out the soldiers, but reveal that there was a person inside the battery. However, there's no time to catch their breath as Miss Murder is now in their vicinity, and the person tells them that she reacts based on thought. Impulse uses his own impulsive nature to react rather than think, and gets everyone past Miss Murder, of which they make it onto a ship. They quickly learn that they can power it through their connection to the Speed Force and end up driving off with the ship. The three then return to the West family home, and even though they're scolded, the others express how happy they are that the two are safe. It's then that Wally decides to open up the back of the ship to reveal Gorilla Grodd, Superman, and Captain Atom. And I just want to start this off by saying, wow, Flash family are sometimes bad at watching kids. I mean, I get it. They're busy trying to figure things out, but at the same time, it took them from the West home all the way to Terrific Tech until they realized that Wallace and Bart were not there, which then brings me back to that Dark Crisis tie-in where everyone was trying to search for Barry Allen, and they took their eyes off Irie and Jay for just a few seconds, left a transporter watch and within their vicinity, and everyone just completely stopped watching the kids. And specifically when it comes to Bart, you think by now they would have low-jacked him or something, put a little chip in his arm, I don't know, some way to track the kid. But otherwise, what we have here is a Kid Flash Impulse duo story, which is pretty fun. This book expanded on their dynamic as a duo, and it really shows, how much they kind of complement each other. Because even though they're both young, Kid Flash does like to plan more. He likes to think a situation through before just kind of jumping into it. Whereas Impulse is, impulsive and sometimes makes light of, serious situations, but will usually deliver the goods by the end. And I did enjoy the fact that it was Impulse's very nature that ended up getting them past Miss Murder to begin with. Because if it was just Kid Flash, or it was Wally, or it was Barry, or really any of the other adult Flashes, they would have been thinking about the scenario in various ways, and Miss Murder probably would have, evaded all their attacks and blocked them. So that shows the best way to counter her is by not thinking and just reacting. As well, I will say, it was nice to take a break from, the more serious aspects of the story, though we still feel the weight of the story in this. This book was a bit lighter in tone as we were primarily following Impulse and Kid Flash, because I did catch myself chuckling a couple times, specifically when it came to Wally after he noticed that Kid Flash and Impulse were gone, and he's like, snargle bargle. I'm sorry, bud, I got a laugh out of me. Because really it's the tone in my head that makes it funny. I feel like he could have said just about anything and I probably would have laughed all the same. But still, despite the fact the book also continues to gain my intrigue by presenting some very interesting questions, specifically, what did they want with Gorilla Grodd, Superman, and Captain Atom? I mean, if I had to guess, more than likely, they were to be used as batteries, much like Speed Force conduits, because Superman, he's basically a solar battery. Captain Atom is like a nuclear atom battery, and Gorilla Grodd has touched the Speed Force before, so it's possible there's some residual energy in him. And if that is the case, that also tells us a little bit more about the Fraction, in that they don't always use Speed Force conduits to, power their batteries and such. They can use, really any being that keeps some kind of charge. And also, we got the new character that came from one of these batteries, who we don't know his name just yet, but at the same time seems to have the lowdown on the entire Fraction Armada and just probably maybe what the Flash family needs in order to turn the tide of the battle. But like I said, it's not all fun and games. It's still very consistent with the previous tone because this book also tugs at my heartstrings a little bit, particularly when it surrounds Barry and Iris, because at least as of right now, Iris is dead, though of course I doubt it's gonna stay that way by the end of the story. They're gonna find some way to resurrect her, or everything's gonna go back to normal, and they found out that her heart slowed down, just enough to not be able to be counted, or I don't know, something. Maybe a miniature flashpoint, who knows? But now one thing I'm thinking about is, now that they've been inside Terrific Tech, we know Terrific Tech was developing a machine to be able to put the surrounding area in hyper time. And I'm just wondering if this is also going to come into play at some point. When it comes to the art, it still gets the job done. Each page flows really well, and the pictures define each panel, creating a well-paced book. And overall, the Flash 792 is still a fun and captivating Flash event that I think if you're enjoying it, you're gonna continue to enjoy it. And if you haven't been reading it, make sure you jump on that right away. And with that, I'm gonna score The Flash issue 792 a 9.5 out of 10. So The Flash issue 792, what did you think about this book? If you've read it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care. Have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.